Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are doing great. This is Cordelia coming to you live on a Thursday night at 8 p.m. and I feel kind of awake. So that's a big breakthrough for me. I don't know how you guys are handling the start of this new school year, but it's been a little bit of an adjustment for me. So I am just getting back into my rhythm or whatever, starting a new rhythm. So speaking of new rhythms and new patterns and new everythings, tonight I wanted to talk to you guys about something that's really, really important to your business. Whatever kind of business you have, however you sell online, whether you do RA, OA, wholesale bundling, private label, whatever you do, tonight's show is relevant for you. So we are going into a Q4 unlike any Q4 any of us have ever been through before. We don't know what it's going to be like, but there's already a lot of evidence that things might run out globally. Now, I'm not talking about stocking up on food or anything like that. I'm talking about business supplies. And when you run a business like we do, which is very dependent on being able to serve customers instantly from what they need, they place an order, you need to fulfill it, something runs out, you need to restock it. The last thing you need is to run out of essential things at a time when it's just not available. We're seeing this in schools now. Every school's promised every kid a Chromebook. They're just out of Chromebooks. So I wanted to go through some essentials that I suggest you stock up on or prepare for now so that should you have some sort of an emergency during Q4, you're not having to pay 2 or 3 or 4 times market value for something just to keep your business functional. And I would love to hear kind of what you're thinking. Feel free to comment what you're concerned about for Q4, what you've done to prepare, or what you're planning on doing in the next few weeks. So the big thing is really try hard to anticipate whatever you might need and don't do anything at the last minute. In years past, we've been able to run out to the store and just buy stuff. And that just may not happen this year. The global supply chain is impacted. Things are not shipping from other countries via air or ship at the same kind of speed that we're accustomed to. With the USPS in disarray, all of shipping is disrupted. And so just like last minute stuff just does not work. So don't put anything off. So I suggest that you have a backup computer. I don't know about you, but for me, my whole life runs from my computer. Whether it's schooling, work, personal growth, spirituality, it all happens there. So if you don't happen to have your last model computer or another computer handy, if your whole business is dependent on one piece of equipment, get a second one. It doesn't necessarily have to be the ideal computer. You don't have to go out and get the most expensive ideal one, but you need something that should all of your equipment that you're using now just break. And I'm not talking about this apocalypse here. I'm just talking about a normal equipment failure. If that happens November 15th and stores are sold out of computers, you're going to be out of luck. So go ahead and get a second computer. Speaking of technology, the other piece of technology I am completely dependent on is my phone. And one of the things that I think is really interesting is many of us use our phones to log into things. So whether it's your Amazon account, your bank account, whatever it is, a lot of us are using our phones to receive like a security prompt, and then you enter in a code and then it lets you log in. So you need a phone. So have a backup phone handy, whether it's the previous one that you've upgraded from, or you can buy a used one on eBay that's a similar model. It definitely does, again, not have to be the top of the line, but you want to have a fully functional phone available so that should your phone fail, break, fall in the bathtub, you have another one to go back to. Okay, so after your phone, the next piece of equipment that we're all dependent on, especially if you're shipping from home or from your warehouse, is backup printers. These are another piece of equipment that have just been running out because everybody's working from home and schooling from home, so everybody needs a printer. So make sure you have a backup. If you use a Dymo for your shipping labels, if you use a laser printer, inkjet, if you need cartridges, whatever you need to be able to print everything you need to print through the end of the year comfortably, make sure you have that and have a backup. Printers now are very inexpensive. You can get a decent printer for under $100. So it, again, doesn't have to be the top of the line, but if your printer breaks and there's none in the stores, you want to be able to just grab one out of the closet, plug it in, and get yourself right back in business. The other thing that's really important is shipping supplies. We talked about this a couple weeks ago when we had Judy on. You know, a lot of the things we're used to being able to just, again, run out and buy extra boxes, extra envelopes, padded mailers. If you're using prepaid packaging from USPS or UPS, all those things, you know, e-commerce is up greatly over where it was at last year, but our ability to produce supplies is diminished. So get them now. Don't wait until November 2nd when you run out of envelopes to try to run out and get more envelopes and you have orders waiting. So stock up on shipping supplies. And speaking of shipping, have alternate shippers set up. So if you traditionally, this is for those of you who are using Fulfilled by Merchant or Merchant Fulfill, or maybe you're selling on your own website or Etsy or an additional marketplace besides Amazon, you want to have an alternative shipping plan. Personally, I think we should all be planning to Merchant Fulfill as well as FBA this fourth quarter because Amazon is just unreliable right now, but not everybody can do that. So however you ship, just make sure that if you're used to using USPS, you go ahead and get your UPS account set up, get a FedEx account set up, get those things ready, understand how to calculate shipping on them, test it out so that, again, if you have got 30 packages to ship today, you're not trying to figure it out then. And make sure your data's in the cloud. I back all my data up to the cloud every day. It just happens automatically. And I can basically log into my data from any computer anywhere. So make sure that if you don't have that set up and if you're not comfortable with the cloud or you don't like the cloud, you can actually buy an external hard drive for your computer and back everything up there. So just make sure you have all your data backed up somewhere really easy and convenient to get to. And this is a big one that a lot of us don't think about. So I hope that nobody here gets COVID. I hope you guys don't get it. I hope if you get it, it's not a bad case. But should you get sick, whether it's with COVID or something else, you want to be able to have your business keep running. Even if all you do is have somebody log into your account and turn it onto vacation mode so that you don't get in trouble from having orders accumulate when you can't ship them out. So take the time now when things are not in an emergency state to, whether it's a colleague or somebody from your mastermind or your best friend or your spouse or whoever it is, give them real clear instructions on how to log into your account and put it on vacation mode, and how to check for messages or whatever. And my suggestion is that, for example, if you live with your spouse, then you might want to have the person who's your backup for your business not be somebody you live with, because there's a chance that if you get sick, that person is either going to be sick also, or they're just going to be really busy taking care of you, and they're not going to be messing around with your Amazon account. So just pick somebody who can do it, who's able to log in and just keep the lights on. Turn your account to vacation mode, check your customer messages regularly, and just keep that happening. If there's people in the group that need that service, it's something that we can consider. It's not really this, I'm just kind of making this up right now, but if some of you are just like, I don't have anyone in my life who can even log into a computer, let alone log into Amazon, should there be an emergency, let me know and I'll see if I can help you out. Oh, we have some comments. Wonderful. Anne says eBay is also suggesting that you look for other shippers. So I'm not the only crazy person out there. So make sure that you have backup ways of providing, of fulfilling your orders. And Marie says, what other shippers are there besides USPS and FedEx and UPS? I believe there's DHL. And that's the last one I can think of. DHL, UPS, USPS, and FedEx. I don't know if any of you guys know of any more. I think Pitney Bowes just uses those guys. So those are the other shippers that I know of. So eBay's supposed to be doing a deal with UPS. That's UPS. Pirate Ship has really good rates. I think it's Pirate Ship or Shipping Pirate. I forget which one it is. So my suggestion is simply that, if you don't have a UPS account, set one up. You may not need it, but set it up, know how to buy shipping, know how to print labels so that if you have orders to fulfill, you're not having to figure it out on the fly. Anne says she heard FedEx is hiring 70,000 drivers. I know all the shipping companies are anticipating a difficult winter, partially because we're just, e-commerce is going to keep growing as people, frankly, just don't want to leave their houses or don't want to go to the store. They're going to have more stuff shipped. Of course, we have normal increase from Q4 and the holidays combined with, I've heard it called the twindemic, the pandemic, whatever you want to call it, whether, whatever, it could be a very rough winter. And so I just want to make sure, regardless of what you believe about how rough the winter may or may not be, if you have all these things lined up and ready, then if something should happen with your business, you're ready to go. The other thing is we just posted in the group this week, my super handy dandy husband posted a UPS, a link to UPS's, not those shipping service, but the thing you plug your computer into. So one of the things that can happen if your power goes out, and now I just want to make this clear. I'm not saying that I think that because of the virus that like the world's going to end. What I am saying is that supplies may be short. Your computer may break for some completely unrelated reason, and you won't be able to do what you could have done a year ago, which is run out to the store and get another one. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I think the world is ending, just in case you're wondering. So you can't just run out either because you physically can't just like go to the store for whatever reason, or just the stores are out of stuff. They're out of these popular items. Pirate Ship is very easy to use. Thank you, Marie. It's Pirate Ship. So Mike shared a UPS link. So UPS's stands for uninterrupted, he just posted a link, uninterruptible power supply. So basically what it means is that if the power goes out, your computer will not like shut down. So it prevents power surges. So if you have a spike in electricity, it won't shut down your computer. A good UPS will let you know if it's been burned out, because that's the other thing surge suppressors frequently don't do, is if they suppress a surge and they get burned out, they don't notify you. So they're not going to work a second time, but they don't tell you that. So a good UPS will let you know if you need to replace it. But like when our power goes out in our house, it's like beep, 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 beep. Everything starts beeping because all our devices are on UPSs and they all notify you that you need to come and like safely shut down your equipment or unplug it. So that's a UPS. You should definitely protect your computers with a good UPS. And then the other thing Mike posted a link to is a battery. It's a great, great thing to have on hand. It's a really good battery. It's about the size of a bread box, or smaller than a bread box, but you plug it in, you leave it plugged in all the time. And then if the power goes out, or if you just disconnect from power, it can run a couple computers, a fan, a bunch of, charge up your phones, all that stuff for a good long time. I mean, I took our battery camping with me for the weekend, and it ran everything for the weekend in our tent. So it's not a generator. It's not nearly as strong as a generator, but it can do a lot. It costs a lot less than a generator, and it's a lot easier to just physically move around. It's just this little box. So I highly recommend you getting one of those too, so that just should your power go out for a day or an evening or a morning, you can just keep functioning, keep your internet running, and just keep doing business. All right. Are there any other comments or questions? I've been sharing with you guys that I'm working on Etsy now. So I'm going to be doing some Etsy content in the next few weeks as I get better at it. I have some other shows planned as well. We've got Chris coming on. He's going to share his experience about importing from China. And we had a request in the group for somebody to talk about brand registry. So I'm going to do some more content on brand registry. But I really want to hear what it is that you guys want to know more about. What are you struggling with? What are you just interested in? It could be some real specific business thing like brand registry. It could be a more soft skills thing like coping, or skills for dealing with our new life, anything like that. I'm happy to share. Thank you, and I'm glad you thought it was a good show. We're about out of content and time. But please leave your comments with your links to your favorite equipment, your favorite backups. If you have any questions when you don't understand how to replace something, please feel free to post it. And thank you guys so much for tuning in live. Thank you for watching the replay. And I will see you all next Thursday night at 8 p.m. Have a good night.